Hi there, my name is Alan Richardson. I'm the broker and owner of Maxwell Realty and Realtor Partners, and I want to chat with you about iBuyers. So the iBuyers occupy the space that is in the real estate market. Offerpad, Opendoor, Zillow's jumping in the market. Actually, just about everybody's jumping in the market. Nearly every brokerage has a instant offer right now kind of program. We just kind of generally call it the instant offer people. And so they're kind of flooding our marketplace. They're everywhere. I've gotten, I don't know, half a dozen messages or actual mail messages, snail mail, offers in my mailbox. They're all over social media. You can't turn on Facebook and Instagram without seeing them. They're on TV, they're in print, so they're kind of everywhere, and they really are kind of garnering a lot of attention in the real estate world. But how big of an impact is that really? Because we're seeing a lot of activity going on, and is it really making a big shift? And if it is, how do we work within that space? How is this shifting our real estate market? And so, first of all, are they making an impact? Yes, they are making an impact. But it's debatable just about how big that impact really is. So right before this, I went ahead and pulled up Offerpad and Opendoor's numbers. And they're probably the two biggest. And so Offerpad sold 500 homes last year. Opendoor sold 800 homes last year. So between the two of them, and some of the other small players, it's about 1,500 homes for the year. And you think, wow, 1,500 homes, that's a pretty significant impact. I mean, that really can kind of shift market. But on the other hand, when you look at right now in the same marketplace, we've got 24,000 homes on the market. And last year we sold just around 95,000 homes in the same market. And so while 1,500 homes seems like a pretty impressive number, really it works out to about 1.5% of our market is what's really being affected by Offerpad, Opendoor, these kind of guys. And so is 1% of any major industry a big deal? It sure is. They also have a lot of funding coming in. There's all kinds of money supporting them. They have both done great jobs on getting a lot of capital investment. And so they have pretty deep pockets, and that's why they're kind of all over the media. But is it an impact? Yes. But how? And really, they're hurting the wholesalers terrible. The We Buy Ugly Houses people. Oh, they've been kicked right in the knees, kind of thing. So those guys have been some of the ones that have been the biggest impact for them. Now, some agents don't really understand how they operate, and so they are. Most of them are very much above board. They tell everything straight up, just how it is. They come out and immediately, or not immediately, but normally within a very short amount of time, they'll send over. Basically, it's a desktop evaluation or a desktop offer, and that will come relatively quickly. There are no commissions, and that's one of the biggest things that they tout is no commissions. But they all have a transaction fee or a processing fee, and normally you'll find it works out to be as much, if not more, than what average commissions are. It runs between 5 to 7.5 and sometimes 9% of the purchase price. And then they're going to set up an appointment to send over an inspector. And then repairs are handled multiple ways. And this is one of the challenges for them, is because they let homeowners, so they'll send an inspector over, and then the inspector will say, these 10 things need to be done. And they'll give it a price tag. So these 10 things, and it's going to cost $15,000. They'll let the homeowners choose if they want to do the repairs or if they just take the additional money off. And so what we're seeing is that sometimes those repairs, because sometimes when homeowners make their own repairs, they don't do the best job. They're just doing it just to kind of get it done with. They know they're moving, and so some of them look kind of And so we've had some of the quality of those repairs have been kind of icky. The other on the selling side, when you're the person that needs to sell, most of the folks are really appealing, or I'm sorry, Offerpad Opendoor is appealing to the folks that are looking for ease. They don't want to make repairs. They don't want to fix things up. And so it tends to really kind of, boom, hit them in the pocketbook pretty hard. And so you have already a discounted offer. And then, they have a processing fee, and then they take repairs off. And they also don't pay closing costs. Now, it's not very much, but they don't pay closing costs either. And so this is kind of, in our experience with it, what we found is that it generally runs 20 to 24% of fair market value is about the discount, that it all works out in the wash. Now, I can't give you, if you pull their website, you go through the numbers. I'm just telling you that in our experience, it seems to be somewhere in that 20 to 24% range of fair market value is where it all ends up by the time that you take off transaction fees and their offer price, as well as repairs. And so it kind of makes sense as well too, because if you don't have that much of a discount, it's really not worth doing anyway. And for the majority of our homeowners, 24% of their property's value is just too big of a chunk. Zillow themselves say that 9 out of 10 people do not accept their Zillow instant offer. Offerpad, Opendoor the same way. So 90% of the people are rejecting their offers, mainly because the average homeowner for a even if you're going to take 20% on a $250,000 home, that's a $50,000 discount. And for a lot of homeowners, they're like, man, that's a pretty significant chunk of change that they're looking to give up in return for ease and well, really ease is probably one of the biggest things. And so the challenge for us here is, how do we compete? And so the first step, or my first suggestion, is understand that there's a time that these guys are right for our clients. And both Offerpad, Opendoor, Zillow, they'll all give you a 1 to 2% referral fee. So most of them will just offer 1%. You can sometimes negotiate that up, but they will all offer that. And so there's times when I've had friends that, a divorce, something messy, they just got to get out of Dodge. These guys may be the right choice for them. You can still get a little piece of your commission. And so there is an opportunity to work with these people sometimes. And so, I can't say that it's right for everyone, but I've had friends that have used them just because of their particular situation. They needed to get out fast. They needed cash now, and they were okay giving away a pretty nice chunk of their equity. And so sometimes that's going to be the right choice. We can make that call, but know that we can get commission off that. So don't think that it completely cuts you out. You're not going to get a full 3, but you can get 1 to 2%. Also, look at why do consumers go to Offerpad and Opendoor? What's the big sell? Because if you're going to give away 20 to 24% of your value, that's pretty significant. And so really what those companies are offering is they're offering ease. The transactions are clear. They really don't do bait and switch. There is some going back and forth with the repairs, but all that is stated up front. They can back out of these offers at any time if they want to. So the transactions are very transparent. The costs are all right up front, and it really is a kind of quick thing. They can get in quickly. Lastly, it is kind of a no stress way to sell your home for a lot of people. Setting up the showings and just the stress of always having your house ready and that kind of stuff. And so we have to look at what is our opportunities here, because obviously they found a place in our market where we're falling short. Our transactions are way too stressful. They take a long time. And so what can we do to help alleviate that? Well, one of the best things we can do is to really communicate and educate. Let our clients know that, yes, these companies are out here. Yes, they'll be glad to buy your home if you're willing to give up 20 to 24%. Most are not. So those kind of things are out there. Understand where the marketplace is for these people. There's a time that when we can work with it. But moreover, we're seeing that even though they are in our marketplace and they're garnering all this attention and they've got deep pockets, it's not nearly as big of an impact. 1.5%, even though it's 1,500 transactions, is not insignificant. None of us would mind having 1,500 transactions this year. But on the other hand, in the grand scheme of things, it's not massive either. So don't be intimidated by them. You can go back up to bat with them. Bat to bat didn't make any sense, but you can go directly. You can compete with them, and you can win. Mainly because we provide great value. We can, and no matter what, selling your home is a personal decision. It's a personal experience. I don't care if it's your first home or your fifth home. It's the biggest purchase you've ever made. Most people don't just throw that out there on a whim. And so even though there's a lot of great lead generation sources and that kind of stuff, they all set you up to have a relationship, to build a relationship, and to engage those sellers. And that's really the biggest thing. Engage your sellers, really talk to them, let them know what's going on in the market, and you can compete and you can win. So have a great day. If I can be of any service, please let me know.